We got a developing story out of Denver. This is pertaining Cormani, Mcclain, and Deion Sanders' relationship. But before we get off into it and you come across this video, do me a favor. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you'll know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And if it's your first time coming across the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, post your comments, share the video out. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute, and you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Well, what I always tell people, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. But before we get into today's podcast, this podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, the official sponsor of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the #1 rated ticketing app, over 28 million downloads, 70,000 plus events from concerts to sports, all your tickets across the web, all in one place, rated 1 to 10. Green means good, red means bad. Your tickets are backed by your buyer's guarantee. And remember, use my promo code SimplyBallDropping at checkout to get $20 off your purchase. And just remember, by using my promo code SimplyBallDropping at checkout, you're getting $20 off your purchase. Also know that you're supporting the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, let's get right off into it. Well, we all know the Colorado Buffaloes season is about to start. And last year, there was talks of one of their highly coveted freshmen in Cormani, Mcclain. But we really never got to see Cormani, Mcclain on the field. We didn't know the reasons. Deion said some things that, you just got to work hard, show up to, film study and participate in the drills. But we never saw Cormani Mcclain at his full potential. And like I always tell people, when there's smoke, there is fire. And when there's fire, there is smoke. But now the reports are coming out. The relationship between Deion Sanders and Cormani Mcclain took a turn. As we all know, Cormani Mcclain entered the transfer portal. Now, this story was covered by the Denver Post. Shout out to the Denver Post for putting this article out there. And I'm going to give you guys a little insight on what the article said. Deion Sanders figured he had just bagged the second coming of himself, Cormani Mcclain. Figured he landed an instant starting spot and a seat at the table with the rest of Coach Prime chosen ones. Both guessed wrong. Just knowing Coach Prime and his assistant coach, Kevin Mathis, and knowing Cormani and the expectations, it was going to be rough in the beginning. Ex-cornerback Samari Rose, the former NFL defensive back, one of Mcclain's old 7-on-7 coaches with the South Florida Express, told me recently Coach Prime's recruiting might have been changed by the Cormani Mcclain saga. Just not the way Colorado Buffaloes fans envisioned it 16 months ago. I thought eventually Cormani would do what needed to be done to get out there and play, Rose said. But it wasn't the plan. Whatever the plan was, it went off rails ages ago. Mcclain, the former cornerback from Colorado, top-rated recruit in Sanders' first Buffs class, entered the transfer portal last month, and he reportedly landed with the Florida Gators. So what happened? How did the marriage in sports heaven end in finger pointing and YouTube one-upmanship? The reason, maturity and the expectations roles continued. Cormani was the #1 prep defensive back in the nation. So the way that Colorado was able to get him and everything that put a bullseye on him, whatever, right or wrong, the bullseye was on him. And one thing I will say about Prime, he won't expect players to give him anything on the field that they don't have the ability to do. If he does expect a lot out of you, it's because you have that ability. Sanders expected more of a finished product in Cormani Mcclain. Someone dedicated to their craft, to the defense, to the standard, to the winning now. Mcclain expected his own timetable. Time to make mistakes, time to learn, time to figure it out. neither the twain. I know one thing that Sanders learned from longtime ex-Florida State defensive coordinator Mickey Andrews is he won't let you go out there and cheat yourself and cheat everybody else, Rose said. Rose said he's never seen a guy be average on the week and go out there and be a superstar during the playtime. I know that he could be an issue coming in. That's what Samari Rose was saying about, Cormani Mcclain. Mcclain wasn't the only one to raise red flags, though. Not by a long shot. One of the 71 players added to the bus roster in their 2023 recruiting class per 24 Sports database, 29 entered the transfer portal from November 27, 2023 through April 30th of this year. One of 21 high school prospects who joined CU, 11 Mcclain, chief among them, wound up hopping in the portal after less than a year in Boulder. That was surprising, Rose said. But I think they want to win at Colorado, and if they're not there, it's for a reason. One thing we've got to realize with the transfer portal and everything, it's not because the kids are being paid by the NIL now. It's more like professional sports. If you've been rewarded and then they expect you to play a type of way or perform that type of way and you don't, you can be treated like the NFL. We can move on without this guy. Now, Dylan Edwards was another Colorado star freshman who transferred out this spring and shooing Boulder from Kansas State drove home the idea that landing 5-star commitments doesn't always mean you're getting a 5-star commitment to the program. I'll be honest, before we made the flip, we were going to get guys because of schools where they coming from Alabama or Florida State, chasing those 4 and 5 stars, and we made some mistakes, Harold told On3. A lot of guys that we got on campus, we realized they were not the guys that we needed. And in one meeting, Coach Prime was like, all right, stop chasing the 4 and 5 stars. Find the guys that love the game. Find the guys that have aspirations for us going into the next level. Find those guys and let's coach them up. So we kind of changed a lot of things on how we recruit. So basically what Deion Sanders is saying here is he expected one thing from Cormani Mcclain, but Cormani Mcclain wanted to do things on his terms. So Deion Sanders really has felt betrayed by Cormani Mcclain because he had all the ability and Deion saw that in him. That's why he was a 5-star recruit, but he just did not display that in game sessions, film study, and practice. So he thought that he was assured a spot, that he was going to start, and he had to compete for that, and he found his way out by transferring to the Florida Gators. Now, Deion said, we got to stop chasing these 4 and 5 stars and get guys that love the game, that have a passion, that want to be coached, that want to be coached up. Colorado wants to win, and Cormani Mcclain thought it was an easy ride. The way the article stated is he wanted to do things on his terms. He thought that he could make all the mistakes that he could. He had time. But like Deion said when he took over the program, it's about winning now. It's about winning now. You have to, put the preparation in and build from there. And I don't think Cormani Mcclain was up to that task. And he found his way out. So he got out of Boulder, transferred to Florida, the Florida Gators. So, we're going to wish Cormani Mcclain, luck and wish that, he performs the way he's capable of performing at that collegiate level. But at this time, I just feel that Deion felt that their relationship, he portrayed him because he came in and he didn't want to put in the work. And just like Samari Rose was saying in the article, he knew that Cormani was going to be an issue coming in because he knows Cormani's work ethic. And like I said, Deion just felt betrayed. And a lot of guys, we don't know the reason why they're jumping into the transfer portal. Everybody makes it seem that, it's all on Deion, but the way that article that Denver Post covered, it was a great article giving us some insight on the relationship between Cormani Mcclain and Deion Sanders. So you guys let me know what y'all think about the relationship between Deion Sanders and Cormani Mcclain. Do you think that Cormani Mcclain betrayed Deion Sanders, coming to Colorado, not putting in the work, thinking he had a guaranteed starting position without really having to put in the work? You guys let me know. And do me a favor, on your way out the door, drop a like on the video, share it out. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.